Hi, everybody. I hope that you're having a great day so far and that you are looking forward to a beautiful day. I am absolutely looking forward to a beautiful day, to a beautiful week. Um, I anticipate that it will be very challenging, but I'm up to the challenge. I hope that you are up to any challenge that you face this week as well. Um, the virtue this week, it's a new week, new virtue. Our virtue this week is detachment. And I would say that midway through last week, I decided that this week's virtue would be detachment. As I worked through acceptance, I knew that detachment should be the next one. And I've shared with you guys. I've been really open with you about my emotional ups and downs, having gone through a divorce, having moved, a brand new school year. There's the ESPN notification on my phone in the middle of my video, but I'm going to persist. I'm going to keep going. I've been really open with you about my emotional ups and downs, and I will tell you that this weekend was really, really emotional. I made the decision to, instead of transferring my prescription to a place nearer me, I went all the way back to the place that I would normally get my prescriptions from, the place that was closest to home. And I had some interactions on Friday that were and Saturday morning that really hurt and had me very emotional. But it led me to today's practice on the virtue of detachment. So anyway, driving there, I mean, listening to music, certain songs just had me crying. And then as I drove past the street that I would normally turn down to go to my house, crying. Got in the store, feeling better. Ran into a friend of mine, a really good friend that I talked with, and she said she had just been thinking of me, and then boom, I popped up, and she told me about a loss that she'd had, that she lost someone really dear to her, and that she was grieving, and that she was really sad, and that she had been crying. And I'm like, girl, you and I are right at the same place because that's where I am. I'm crying, and and I shared with her, caught her up, and kind of told her things that had been going on. And of course, she was shocked, but we just talked about what we're doing to get through this season, and it was really good to talk to her. And so, having said that, it led me right to today's practice of detachment. I practice humility when I make a mistake. I am humble enough to amend my mistake. I have the humility to amend a mistake. So I made a mistake. And for the most part, it's a mistake about trying to control something that's out of my control. Because the only thing that we can control is ourselves. And no matter how careful and well intentioned we feel we can be, um, you gotta know that you can't control other people, right? And so, as a result of me trying to control a situation, and in my mind doing what's in the best interest of myself and others, it caused me, tremendous hurt. And I've gotten good advice to not do what I had done, again in an effort to help, and I didn't take it. And I have over and over again felt the pain associated with that decision. And so I have decided I am going to amend that mistake. In doing so, it helped me to be accountable to myself about why I made the mistake. And what I really love about today's quote is at the end of it, it says you have a mistake, you acknowledge it, you learn from it, feel what you got to feel, and then you forget it. Forget that mistake. Because what we do is we relive our mistakes. We bring it back to our minds in an effort to learn from it. But what we do is we punish ourselves over and over again. Every time we relive or bring back something to mind that we did and tell ourselves, I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do that? We relive the pain again and again and again. So we really punish ourselves. And I am really thankful for this week's virtue of detachment because I know that's what I need to do. And when you read the card, it'll tell you that detachment means that we acknowledge emotions, but we don't allow emotions to control us. And I realize that I have been allowing emotions to control me lately, particularly the emotion of sadness. And so I'm really looking forward to, and when I say reflect over the card, I read it every day. Every day I read the left side of the card that defines And then, of course, the practices on the right side. And I read through those practices, and the one that resonates the most is the one that I choose for the day. And then I think about how that particular practice is showing up in my life, and I share a reflection on that in hopes that my own personal reflection provides you with some guidance for how you can reflect on it. And maybe the experience that I have had is similar to an experience that you've had, and just me sharing with you that there's power there, because oftentimes when we go through hard times we think we're the only one that's going through it, and then that makes us beat ourselves up even more, because we've convinced ourselves that something must be wrong with us if we're going through something that probably nobody else is going through. But the reality is that if we share our pain, we will find out that there are other people that are going through it. They've survived it. They may be able to give us some tips on how to survive it, and maybe they're right there in the midst of it, and you can just watch them go through it. But there's lessons to be learned as long as we're open to learning them. And I'm always open to learning more about myself and how I am engaging with the world and how I am faring in that way. So I hope that my reflection on these practices of these virtues is helpful, because that is the whole point. So be humble enough to correct a mistake that you've made. So, of course, that means first you have to acknowledge that you made the mistake. Um, be accountable to yourself about why you made it. Be honest with yourself about why you made it. Every decision that we make meets a need. And so acknowledge what need you were trying to serve with that, and then determine if there's another way for you to meet that need. And if not, it could be that it's time for you to let go of something that you've been holding on to. That rolls right into detachment, detaching yourself from things. So that's what I'll be working on today and throughout the week. I chose I'm Only Human for our song of the day. There's a great resource about how to help teens and children accept mistakes. I know that I have seen students really struggle when they make a mistake. So I think that there's some really great information there. But I honestly think that those practices are good for anyone of any age. So definitely check that out. And then go about having a wonderful day. And how are we going to have a wonderful day? How are we going to have a wonderful day? Well, we're going to start by being kind to ourselves, and then we're going to be kind to others, and we're going to gift the world the beauty of our smile and our presence and our love and our compassion and our grace. And that is the best way to choose joy that I know of. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you.